Hello guys, so this is day 41 of the daily RC practice series. A quick synopsis of the passage. In the first paragraph, author introduces the phenomena of latitudinal variation across same habitat type. He tells us that the number of species increases from the poles to the equator. In the second paragraph, author introduces one hypothesis uh, behind this observed phenomena, that tropical species had more time to emerge because tropics were relatively unaffected by a succession of ice ages. But author rejects this hypothesis, suggesting that ice ages did not interrupt Arctic conditions, thereby implying that even Arctic conditions must have an equal variety of species. In the next paragraph, author introduces the second hypothesis, which has to do something with sun's energy, incoming energy of the sun, which is correlated with growth and reproduction rates, further correlated to biomass, and that eventually leads to or is correlated with the number of species. Author rejects this theory as well, pointing out the possibility of higher death rates, which would result in low biomass, and he also suggests that this theory largely remains untested. In the next paragraph, another hypothesis is introduced. The tropics climate is sufficient, it can afford sufficient resources for a variety of and a large number of species to coexist. But author rejects this theory as well, suggesting that localized ecological processes cannot account for the latitudinal differences. In the next paragraph, author seems to have arrived at his favorite hypothesis, finally, H4, that speciation rates vary across latitudes. In the last paragraph, he explains this H4. So what happens is subgroups of a species isolate that they get isolated from the main populations. They survive long enough in tropics to evolve into a new species, but the same does not happen in the Arctic regions. They get extinct. So that accounts for the latitudinal gradient observed. With this basic understanding of the passage, we are good to look at the questions now. Number one, main idea of the passage. Option A, at present, no single hypothesis is more widely accepted than any other. Author's focus is not on the popularity of any particular hypothesis. Rather, he gives his opinion and he clearly favors H4. Therefore, option A is not the main idea. It does not capture the author's point of view. Option B, the tropical climate is more conducive to promoting species diversity than Arctic or temperate climates. This is factually true, but this is only the phenomena observed. Option B does not talk about explanation behind the phenomena. The passage's main concern is the reason behind this phenomena, the four hypotheses, and particularly favoritism shown to H4 must be contained in option B. Option B only talks about phenomena, does not talk about any of these four explanations. Option C, several explanations have been suggested for global patterns in species distribution, that is correct, but a hypothesis involving rates of speciation, that is H4, seems most promising, that is correct. So option C is the correct answer. Option D, despite their differences, the various hypotheses regarding latitudinal gradient in species diversity concur in the prediction that the gradient can be expected to increase. So this variation is going to increase. This prediction is alien to the passage. So option C is the correct answer. Question number 2. Which situation is most consistent with the species energy hypothesis, that is H2? Okay. Option A says the many plants in a large agricultural tract represent a limited range of species. This answer choice does not talk about any particular latitude. We don't know the latitude, and it is unrelated to H2 therefore. Mind you guys, H2 talks about incoming energy from the sun affecting the growth and reproduction rates, which in turn affect the biomass, amount of biomass, which eventually affects the number of species. Option A talks about neither of these factors. Option B, an animal species experiences a death rate almost as rapid as its rate of growth and reproduction. It will negate H2 rather than be consistent with it. So this is contrary to what we need. Option B is also eliminated. Within the small number of living organisms in a desert habitat, many different species are represented. Again, unrelated to H2. In an Arctic tundra, the plants and animals exhibit a slow rate of growth and reproduction. Now, if this is so, that would account, this is H2, the rates of growth and reproduction, important factors in H2, accounting for low diversity in the Arctic regions. Option D should be the correct answer, therefore. Number 3, the principles of the time theory most strongly support which of the following? So here we have time theory, which says tropical regions were affected. Tropical regions remained unaffected by ice ages, but temperate and Arctic regions were affected. Okay. Option A, in the absence of additional ice ages, okay, the number of species at high latitudes means Arctic regions, could eventually increase significantly. Guys, please understand the theory first. So the theory says in tropics, the tropics were unaffected by ice ages relatively. Therefore, they have relatively high number of species. While Arctics and temperates were affected by ice ages, they were interrupted, disrupted. The climatic conditions there were interrupted very often. Therefore, they have a low number of species. And therefore, guys, in the absence of additional ice ages, the number of species in the Arctic region would also increase. If there were no more ice ages, it would happen. Option A should be the correct answer. Option B, no future ice ages are likely to change the climatic conditions that currently characterize the temperate regions. Well, such a prediction again is alien to this theory. The theory concerns itself not with the climatic conditions, but the climatic conditions affecting the number of species. Also, guys, if past is any indication of the future, it is written in this sentence that temperate regions were affected. Only the tropical regions remained unaffected. Temperate regions were affected by ice ages, right? So if past is any indication of the future, option B is opposite to what we can expect. Option C, if no further ice ages occur, climatic conditions at high latitudes, that is Arctics, let's say, might eventually resemble those at today's tropical latitudes. Tricky answer choice. The climatic conditions at Arctics will not become similar to the climatic conditions at the tropics. Only the number of species will increase. The climatic conditions will remain constant at the Arctics. There will be no interruption, and that would lead to a higher number of species. Not that they will resemble the climatic conditions at at the tropics. So wrong, factually incorrect, twisted. Researchers will continue to find many more new species in the tropics. Time theory has never claimed this particular idea. So this is alien to time theory. Correct answer, option A. Number 4, which of the following most clearly weakens the rate of speciation hypothesis, that is H4. Let's understand H4 first. H4 suggests that a subgroup gets isolated from the main population. Now, in the tropics, it survives and evolves into new species. And that is why we have a variety of species in the tropics. While in the Arctics, it gets extinct. And we are supposed to weaken this hypothesis, weakening hypothesis, okay? Option A, a remote subgroup of a tropical species is reunited with the original population and it proves unable to interbreed, which means it has now become a new species which will support H4. This is exactly what H4 says. Subgroup in the tropics survives, evolves into a new species. So this supports H4 and not weaken it. Investigation of a small area of a tropical rainforest reveals that many competing species are able to coexist on the same range of resources. This is unrelated to H4. If at all, it is related to hypothesis 3. This one. Option C, a correlation between higher energy influx, larger population and lower probability of local extinction is definitely established. Again, it is unrelated to H4 and related to H2. Of most of the isolated subgroups of mammalian life within a tropical zone, okay, here, are found to experience extinction, a rapid extinction. But this theory suggested that in the tropics they will survive and evolve into new species. Therefore, option D weakens this theory right away. Guys, most of these questions we are dealing with today are critical reasoning questions, nice questions. And I suggest that for critical reasoning questions, you form paper maps or flowcharts like this and then look at the only after making a flowchart or a paper map, go through the options. Number 5, what inference can be drawn about the biological characteristics of temperate zone grasslands? Okay. Option A, it has more different species than a tropical zone. Wrong, opposite. Tropic has more. Its climatic conditions have been severely interrupted in the past by succession of ice ages. This line says temperate and Arctic regions have been affected, but tropical regions have not been affected. But what is the severity of that impact? We do not know that. So this qualifier makes this answer choice wrong. A bit too extreme. Alien. If it has a large number of, if it has a large amount of biomass, it also has a large number of different species. This theory, which was H2, was rejected by the author. So option D, it has a larger regional pool of species, okay, than does an Arctic grassland. That is correct. So here in the first paragraph itself, the phenomena, when the phenomena was explained, the latitudinal gradient, it was written that the number of species increases from pole to equator. So poles have the lowest, then we are talking about Arctics here, then the temperates, and then the tropics, which means option D is the correct answer. Last question. With which of the following possible explanation for the latitudinal gradient in a number of species would the author most likely to agree? All right. Author has clearly favored H4. Let's not forget that. Option A, the time theory is the least plausible of the proposed hypothesis. Wrong. Author says H4 is the most plausible. But which one of these three, H1, H2, H3, is the least plausible? This is beyond the scope. Option B, the rate of speciation hypothesis, H4, addresses a principal objection to the climatic stability hypothesis, H3. Even if I do not understand the relationship between H3 and H4, guys, one thing is certain: author has rejected H1, H2, and H3, pointing out their limitations, and then he supports H4. Therefore, by implication, we can come to this conclusion that H4 must address, it must address the problems associated with H1, H2, and H3. Only then author can support this H4, because he's already pointed out objections to H1, H2, and H3. Option B, by implication, by logic should be the correct answer. Option C, the major objection to the time theory is that it does not accurately reflect the degree to which the latitudinal gradient exists. Alien idea. Especially when undiscovered species are taken into account, totally alien. Despite the claims of the species energy hypothesis, a high rate of biological growth and reproduction is more likely to exist with low biomass. Now, this is a relation opposite to the claims of H2, and even author has not made such a claim. For author, this is an alien idea. So option B is the correct answer, guys. A very nice passage. I am sure you enjoyed reading the passage, but the questions were, most of them were critical reasoning based. So keep practicing critical reasoning, guys. Cheers to learning. Keep improving.